It's not that we're demasculating you. It's just a lot of you guys love masculine women. Be honest, y'all love to be told to shut the F up. Y'all love to be told what to do. You know, that's why y'all like these artists. It shows. Why you think the most masculine rappers, the females, are rich? Because our men support them too. That's my opinion.
So for me, I don't look at them as masculine. So I think that's the thing that we have to stop calling them. We gotta stop calling them masculine.
Oh, really?
For me, any woman that is a woman, she's screaming, yelling, loving me, kissing me, hugging me, I still don't look at her as masculine just because she's screaming or yelling or she raised her voice. To me, that's not what I would consider a masculine trait.
Okay.
I think we got to be careful when men saying these nonsense. Or the fact that a woman wants to have sex at the same rate as men, that is not masculine because she laying down with a man. Now, I'm not going to say that because I'm laying down with a woman that woman is being masculine with me. That's crazy talk.
Okay, but okay. So, how long you and your wife been married?
We've been together for almost 2 decades now. Married 16.
Freaking awesome. That's freaking awesome. So you're around submissiveness. You could tell by your response. For almost 20 years, you've dealt with an upset woman who wasn't masculine. She's just upset. Okay. But Sharon, there are masculine, I promise you, there are women that rest in their masculinity. And you have to teach them to be feminine. Like, okay, you got a son and a daughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Daughters, we say, stop playing so rough. Our sons, we say, stop crying so much. Am I wrong? Our daughters.
You're wrong about one of them being masculine and one of them not. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
People
Okay.
say it, yes. But are they wrong about the way how they use it? Yes.
Are they wrong about the way how they use it? The daughters.
For both parties. My
Wrong?
daughter. So for me personally, like I got a super soft daughter, or what's considered super soft, and I got a daughter that's wild, rugged. She always have a bruise. I don't say, "Hey, stop playing like that because you're a girl." I don't never tell her you playing too rough for a girl. I don't tell her
What do
no
you
shit
tell
like
her?
that.
What do you tell her? Do you tell her she's playing too rough?
No, I tell her to be careful. You could hurt yourself.
Okay. Okay. See, I feel like with my daughters, they're well, I just have one older one, but I feel like she's rough, way rougher than the boy. I feel like the boy cries too much. You know, like Jordan from Bernie Mac.
What is
They
he crying for?
I don't give a damn. Stop crying so much. That's what I tell my
What
son.
is he? So that's the problem with us. And okay, so this is a good conversation. So now, what is he crying for? You cannot just say he's crying too much just because he has tears in his eye. What is he crying for?
Every time you bump into the wall,
Mm-hmm.
you hit your arm, you
Mm-hmm.
fall on the ground, and you scrape your leg.
Mm-hmm.
Don't come to me crying. That's
So
how.
what? Okay, so now you tell him what not to do. So what do you tell him to do if he hurt himself?
Chill. Are you bleeding? Are you dying? You're okay. Go play. That's what I tell him.
Right, but that's the wrong information. What you need to do is teach him how to understand what happened to him and understand that pain do subside. It goes away. So yes, you feel immediate pain and you have a feeling of crying because you don't know the reason why he's crying because he don't know what to do about the pain. So you need to get him to understand what pain is and that it will subside. So it's no need to always cry, right? So you need to analyze what happened, and this way you could prevent yourself from doing it again. So you shouldn't tell him, "Don't cry. You're not dying. Did you die? Are
You
you
dying or are you
bleeding?" No, you
bleeding?
shouldn't be condescending to your child. You should be training them to think about what happened to them and how they can prevent it. So now, when he's processing things of pain, he's not processing it, and he doesn't know. Usually, kids are crying because they don't know.
Okay. How many times, Jay
And you
Prince?
better implement what I just said in his life.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay. How
Okay.
many times, example, Jay Prince, do I need to tell you? I told you the first 3 times. Okay. Are you dying? Are you bleeding? If not, you okay. As a boy, you have to dust it off. Why? Because you're going to go through a lot more in life. And you can't be crying over every little speck or pebble. So
Right. And again, you're wrong because he needs to understand what he's going through.
I understand you feel some type of way. You feel you hurt yourself.
No, that's your understanding of it, not his.
what's the 6-year-old boy's understanding of falling, hurting himself, and crying about it and letting me evaluate your pain? Or you fell yesterday and the day before, you're gonna have to keep it pushing.
Right. So again, like, you cannot look at it in the lens of an adult. You gotta look at it in the lens of how he's looking at it. It could be the end of his world for him bumping, hitting himself, or not able to accomplish things. He might feel less confident because he keeps falling down. You're not sure what he's actually felt. So you got to get him to start processing what's happening to him and understand the pain, so he won't continuously happen to have the pain. So now he could work his way through it. So now when he hurt himself the next time, he's like, ah, shh. And then now before he starts crying, now he's gonna start processing. I hurt myself. It's gonna get by. I gotta make sure I don't run the same way again. So you got to get him to start processing it for his young mind, not process it for your adult mind. Those are two different things.
Okay. My 6-year-old son falls, he'll say, ah, and he'll keep it pushing. My husband's 3-year-old son, every time he falls, he looks at dad and he cries because he's used to it. So my son, who I've raised, when I said keep it pushing, he understands something happens to me. It's happened before. Let me continue on. My husband's 3-year-old son looks at someone to care about, oh my gosh, I'm in pain. Someone going to do something? Is someone going to do something? No. When you hit 18, 25, 30, no one's going to do nothing. So let me prepare you now. Yes, I'm going to nurture you the first couple of times. But after that, you're going to have to pick yourself up and keep it pushing. And this is how a lot of these women raise these coddling sons. This is how a lot of mothers raise these mama's boys, because every single time that the boy fails, the mother want to be right there on his ass instead of raising your son to be to keep dust yourself off and try again. You niggas listen to Aaliyah every day. She tell y'all the same thing every goddamn day because you listen to her and R. Kelly, but you don't understand the concept. Not saying you're wrong, Sharon. You don't understand the concept of you hurt yourself, now keep going. That's all I'm saying. This is how people, to me, keep ending up in jail, because they're looking for someone to be their therapist. You're going to have to therapize yourself. You're going to have to motivate yourself. But that's
Right.
just...
And so, yeah, I completely disagree with you on that.
Coddling a boy.
Again, what you have to do is get them to understand. So when my 3-year-old falls down, they hurt themselves. The reason why my children stop crying, because I look them in the eye and I ask them questions. So I get them, first of all, they start thinking instead of worrying about the pain. So they fall down, hurt, and they look at me, hey, what happened? And then they would start to tear up and say, I fell down. So what did you hurt? They will point out what they hurt. So now that they're thinking, they don't have time to keep on just crying about the pain, because now they are thinking. Majority of children they are crying because they don't know what to do about pain. And so if you just miss their pain, they would never actually learn what to do about pain. And then that's going to create them making excuses for themselves. So what you have to do is teach them how to think about the pain that they went through, not dismiss the pain that they went through. And what it seems like what you're saying is that you are dismissing the pain that he is going. It doesn't matter how many times you got to teach your child.
Yes, it does.
Until they understand it. You don't get aggravated about they listen to that. So you think? So do you believe what I'm saying is incorrect or correct?
I don't care who paid to kick me off. Be a parent first. Be a parent.
Slap the taste out of your mouth. I'd like to see you try it.
It says, I can't. Please drop her. So yeah. So I think we definitely have to teach our kids to understand what they are going through. That would stop them from crying and fighting and complaining about them hurting themselves. Because once they start thinking about what's happening to them, they would get better at understanding and processing pain. So we just tell them, if we just dismiss it and say, hey, you're a boy, You hurt yourself, you ain't died, get up. That is dismissing their pain, dismissing their feelings. And kids have big feelings, especially when they don't understand it. And it doesn't matter how long it takes for me to get it through my kid's head. I'm going to always confront them, say, look them in the eyes, say, hey, you okay? What happened? So this way they can process the information. Okay, you good. You can come right back, Charity. Bring her back. God damn it. Come back, somebody.
Your mic is not working, Sharon.
No, that's on your side, sir.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. So, Tyranny, you are free. You don't have nothing to worry about. So, hit the link back, baby girl. You good. And I think it is important that we have the conversation, because a lot of people feel like they got to be extra tough without explanation on how they being tough. They believe that not explaining toughness is a way for a young man. This is why a lot of men do not know how to express themselves, because they just told, shut up. Did you die? Oh, okay. All right, Jalen, I apologize. They said that was acted up a little bit. But again, we got to teach our young boys how to communicate and speak to us and express and explain what they're going through. Because so many times I'm having conversation with Black men and they cannot explain and express themselves. They don't have the words to explain and express themselves. So it is highly important that we start talking to our young men. One of the problems is we're willing to talk and communicate with our young girls and be very understanding. Drop the link again. I don't know if Tyranny is still there. She's still streaming. Tyranny, let me know if you're still streaming or not, or if you're there. Because people on your side is asking for the link. And also somebody paid for you to come back. So you are free, Tyranny. So we're going to listen to our girls. We also got to listen to our young boys, because we are raising them to be adults. I do not raise children, I raise adults. And when you just tell kids that you got to just, hey, shut up. Did you die? You are raising a child. And that child's going to have arrested development because it never learned understanding how to deal with what's going on with them eternally. What is making them feel painful? How do we avoid it? It's an issue. Exactly, but it's not for everyone. That's exactly what I'm thinking of. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. And that's all because it's all because we be trying to dismiss our young boys of feelings and understanding. Say, all right, shut up. You're a man, figure it out. No, he's not going to just figure it out. He needs understanding. You got to raise him to be adult. So you got to get him to start speaking his mind. So this way he can understand, he can understand that he as a man have a voice. Him as a child have a voice to say, hey, this happened to me. It really hurt. And then you could go ahead and talk to him, say, hey, I understand it hurts. You hit your arm. And you could talk him through it. Not bravado him through it. Not condescend him through it. Not talking down on him through it. You're supposed to be teaching forever. Still, my grown-ass kids still call me for advice today. And they got their own places, own children. And we got to give our children some goddamn grace sometimes. They are our children. We got to treat them with love. That's how we win. I said it earlier. We got to make sure they understand that they are going to be supported through the ups and the downs.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to down my son for crying. Shut up with your punk ass. What you crying for? That's crazy talk. He said, hey, what's going on with you? What happened? Why are you feeling this way? And now after he explained it, now we express each other. Now we talk through it. So hopefully it doesn't continuously to keep going. And I'm going to keep talking him through it until eventually he understands it. Especially.
That's what it's about.
Right. Because we cannot determine when he's supposed to or if she supposed to get the message. It's a child, especially a 3-year-old child. It might take the kid all the way to 16 till they get it. Some kids, some adults do not understand what their parent taught them at 16 until they 30. They're like, oh, this is what my dad was talking about. Your dad taught you that at 16. It took you up until you was 32 years old to understand what your dad taught you at 16. Like, now I get it. I didn't know that's what he meant. That's what happens when you do good parenting. Sometimes it takes years before they really understand to respond to like, oh.
Yep, I just agree with everything you said, Sharon.
I appreciate
that.
I
understand, you know, I've been there. I know what it's like. So parenting, listen, you have to have patience and a lot of it. That's for anybody that wants to be a parent, anybody that's about to become a parent. Listen, patience is the key. I'm telling you. Patience.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And also, Shamar, the reason why I don't want kids because of child support, brother.